everybody, Dr. T here. Today I'm gonna be clarifying a few things about my videos, as I've gotten some feedback from followers. My videos are for DV educational awareness and include many things from decisions to laws, survivor stories, to stories about families struck with tragedy. I've made videos on the different kinds of domestic violence so that those watching know that there are several different kinds, not just physical or the ones that we can see. This is important because in my studies, I have heard from several victims that they did not realize that what they were experiencing was abuse because their abuser never physically hurt them. This includes psychological and emotional abuse like gaslighting, narcissism, and love bombing, just to name a few. I want to inform people that just because the relationship doesn't include physical abuse does not mean that it is not domestic violence. DV can take many forms. Excuse me. I have also done videos on survivor stories because I want those who are still in abusive situations to realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Excuse me. Victims have survived and left that abuse to live a better life, and it is possible. Many victims do not think that they will be able to survive on their own and thus stay in the abusive situation because they are scared of the unknown and believe they will fail on their own and have to return to their abuser. This is not true. It may be difficult to strike out on your own, especially when you are unsure of what the future may hold, but eventually a better life will take form, and that is better than living with abuse. I have also included videos on different laws that have been implemented due to the protection for victims of DV. These laws has become stronger over the years and help to protect victims from further abuse and protect those from ending up in abusive situations. Granted, we are far from eradicating DV, but the laws are a way to combat DV as DV becomes clearer and more victims come forward to share their stories. Lastly, I have shared many videos on tragic tales of violence when it comes to DV. I do not share these stories to make people upset, but to show that in certain situations there are red flags that present, and sometimes they are ignored, and the victim sadly does not get away from their abuser. The point of these videos is to basically say, if you see something, say something. People have ignored bruises, believed the abuser over the victim, looked the other way, believed it wasn't their place to say anything, and if they had just said something, these victims might be alive today. These videos are also a warning to those that may believe if they stay in the abusive relationship, things might get better. This is not always the case, and in many abusive relationships, the abuse gets worse, more frequent, and can end in tragedy. All my videos, regardless of the content, is information to help people understand DV and all the traumatic events that come with it. Not all of it ends on a happy note. That is why it is so important that people understand DV, because it can be very dangerous and deadly for the victim or victims involved. DV is about power and control. The more people know and the more victims stand up and speak out, the more abusers lose that power and control. Education is a great tool, and that is why I am here. As Sir Francis Bacon once said, knowledge itself is power. I hope to give those who are dealing with the trauma of abuse the power to stand up and say, no more. If you or someone you know is in an abusive situation, call the National Helpline at 1-800-799-SAFE or text START to 88788. Everyone deserves a healthy relationship.